Where I am now, better than before. Through those open doors, where I am now, where I am now. I'm in a special place. I'm taking off the grace. Where I am now. It's now time for the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. This FYI radio show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host. The music that you hear in the background is none other than Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, where I am now. And if you'd like to see us live in WGPL 1350 studio, all you have to do is go to Edward Everett's Facebook page, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton Facebook page, and guess what? You can see us live right here in WGPL 1350 studio. And if you want to hear us all over the globe, all you have to do is go to www.christianbroadcastingcompany.com or 1400 AM or 1350 AM. And you can hear us all over the world. And now I want to introduce to some and present to others the host of the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, and a pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning. Mr. E, is a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Would you, could you, will you be my neighbor?
Let's welcome our neighbors, our WGPL 1350 AM listeners.
Peace 95.3 FM and WPCE 1400 AM.
Facebook Live is on and popping. Let's also welcome LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. We'll shout out later on in the show.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe. We promise we'll shout you out later on in the show.
Shout out. Yeah.
Shout it out. Mr. E, what day is it today?
Today is hump day.
Oh my goodness, my heart quivered. But Mr. It was a fabulous hump day.
Thank you so much. I want to say good morning to Miss Roberta Cotter, Miss LaWanda Tillett. Thank you all so much for joining us on the World Wide Web.
I don't think about that hump day. That was off the hook. I think that was the best hump day you ever had, Mr. E.
Ever?
Never,
ever. Before we get started, Miss Hinton, I want everybody to jot down the telephone number. What a great topic we have for you today. The telephone number that you can call in on today is 757-624-9475. Again, the telephone number is 757-624-9475.
Mr. E, it's Wednesday. It's our What's Under the Hat segment, Issues Concerning Men.
That's right. Issues concerning men, good, bad, and indifferent. So you'll learn more about what men do.
Absolutely. So today our segment features fathers shape their children's education in more ways than you know.
That's a great topic.
That's a great topic, especially Mr. E in this day and time, and especially in our own city, in our own 757, in our own backyard. We're dealing with some issues in school,
Right.
and we are hoping and praying that things get better, but we don't know how things are going to play out. We're talking about more violence, gun violence. We're talking about fighting. We're talking about bullying. We're talking about lack of young people grasping hold to the education, to rules and things like that. And the information that we researched finds that men, fathers, are very instrumental in the stability and security of our young people in school.
And Miss Hinton, that's one of the things folks got to really look at because the only thing they see a man as being a deadbeat dad.
Some of them do.
And,
That's right.
and when you look at the definition of a deadbeat dad, it's only defined as someone who is not paying their child support.
Mr. E, I sent you over some information. Did you see the video?
I saw the video that happened in Louisiana
Yes.
when things began to go off in Louisiana, where there was a bunch of men, young men, gang fighting there.
Gang fighting I think for 23 days in a row. I mean, they had to send so many home. They had to lock so
Yeah,
many of them
yeah.
down, and they had to do something. There was a group of men,
That's right. My hats off to
that
them.
decided to go into the school and begin to just stay there day after day to bring some stability to the school. The fighting stopped.
The fighting stuff.
The foolishness
Yeah.
stopped. And the presence of the men proved that men do make a difference when they're included in that educational system.
Though much of the research was tended to focus on the mothers, there has been studies that show that once a father is involved, significant improvement happens. Children education process too. How here are some ways dad makes a difference in how school can do more to support them. One of the recent analysts of 66 studies of the urban school in pre-K and college found that on the average, involving fathers of all race were associated with significant better education outcomes. And they say when you get a daddy involved, the improvement change, the things start to happen. It's no throw off on the women, so don't put it in that category. But they said that once a father gets involved, the improvement of a better education outcome equal to nearly half a year typical academics learning, and while dad has a little more of an impact on elementary age children than teenagers. And as any parent of teenagers probably already believe, involving fathers has a significant benefit for their older children too.
What's under the hat? Are you involved as a father, as a man, as a big brother? We need men in the school, period.
That's right. That's right. That's right. We need all the men that we can that go out there and sit a spell, not just as protectors, not just, but to sit and let our young folks, our young people know that we help support you, not in a fashion that that will cause you to do whatever you want to do, but to the point where it's to help you to rise above.
When fathers are involved, the outcomes are positive across the board in terms of academic as well as the social and emotional issues. We need men in there because we need to make sure that the schools are stable. Something is happening in our school system. Mr. E, there's no more problems. There's more gang violence. There's more drugs. There's more bullying. There's more, teachers can't teach. Teachers are full of anxiety, and there has to be a resolution. It says in a separate study, Howard and colleagues found that fathers of color, in particular, often struggle to engage with their children's schools, even though they are interested in their children's education. Now, why would that be? I'm wondering.
Because a lot of fathers, they got time, and some people think that they don't know too much of anything. It behooves a child to say, "Dad know this, Dad know that," because he's really out working and he's not involved. But when you sit down and you allow your husband or your dad to get involved, their dad, the fathers to get involved, you see that fathers not just workaholics, they got education and smarts just as well.
Absolutely. So we want to open the phone lines. What do you all think? Can men be the answer to some of the problems that we are experiencing now? What about what just happened in Rich Neck?
Right.
The I'm not sure if there's a father involved in that situation. I know the mother has spoken out, but what could be the remedy for some of the problems that we have? Kids bringing guns to
Yeah,
school
yeah,
used to
yeah,
be.
yeah.
Do you think it's the father's fault? Do you think guns are laying around at home? Do you think it's the moms? What do you think? How can we bridge a gap, and how can men communicate with teachers more? Get into the school, bring their children, eat lunch with them.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think some of those things would help. Have a presence, be there at the meetings. Do they still have the teachers?
PTA meetings, yeah, yeah.
Those meetings, and also with the grades, making sure they get um, anything they need tutoring. I really believe that is going to be the key answer. But the presence of the men that we were talking about, they have a name. We won't get it give it to you all at this time. But they went into the schools and they really, really calmed the sea. They made sure they had, charisma.
Hmm.
They had a sense
Yeah,
of humor. They interacted with the children. Even their presence, and those men won't no little teeny.
they were big old
They were
guys.
some big
Yeah,
guys, African American men, and they have an organization wherein they go into the schools. They have a presence there, and they make a big difference in the attitude, even the attitude
that's
of the
right.
children,
That's right.
don't you?
The telephone number that you can dial a dialogue with us is 757-624-9475. That's 757-624-9475. Listen, do you think that dad's presence will help the school to settle down? I got a survey here, Ms. Hinton, that says they can needless hold back education intervention. In one recent evaluation of a school-wide anti-bullying program for grades 2, 4, and 6, Australia research found mothers initially were more likely than fathers to give bullies studied uh,
Students
pro-social, uh, advised about ways to find help and disengage from the harassing situation where fathers were more likely to initially give a bully child of aggressive advice about fighting back. See, there's a
Absolutely.
difference.
Uh-huh.
The force of a male figure than a female figure, it's because sometimes men ain't gonna take it.
They're not going to take it, but when you're talking about school, you know, you have to definitely make sure it's a win-win for that child as well as their teacher. We have a caller on the line, Mr. E, and let's see if they have.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I was calling in about the presence of a father.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
My my father was very present when I was going to school. When we were military, and when he was out shooting, it was time for parent teacher conferences. If he wasn't there, I had one particular teacher would say, "Well, I know your dad will be here, so I'll see when he gets from out of scene." But my children did not grow up with the father. So I didn't have those issues with my children. So I think it can be maybe both ways. It can
Yes.
be without a father, or it can be, with a father. My son-in-law is an excellent father, and he spends a lot of time with the kids. He doesn't do the school because he's working and my daughter's staying home
Hmm.
mom. But the kids are pretty grounded. So I think it has to do with both parents. So fathers are very, very important. And
Absolutely.
and African American fathers are very important to their sons and
Yes.
daughters. Their sons, they kind of see that stability. They need to see their fathers. Even if they're not with the mom, I really believe that'll make a big difference that they were involved
Mhm.
with the kids and just getting that extra push to the
Yeah.
children as a like the best thing in the world.
Wow.
And my kids didn't grow up with a father, but as a mom, as a strong mom, I had uncles. They had uncles. My brothers were around. So yeah, all of them were. I think
Absolutely.
it makes a huge difference in what happens with your children. Coming home, help with homework, tired from work and everything. I understand that as a single mom, I was, but I had to be there help with homework.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
With homework and being involved in public procedures. And like I said with my dad, he was out of school. I had one teacher. I know when you come back, I'll see him.
Oh,
And
wow.
definitely all my teachers saw my dad. My dad was a big presence in my life.
Amen.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And that is true. It makes a difference, Mr. E, that a parent is involved, especially a father.
That's right.
And
That's
even
right.
though maybe, a father, he's working and may not be able to come all the time,
That's
his
right.
presence should be there sometimes.
And just like the caller said, she, she had to raise the children without without the
Yes.
fathers of the children. But if there is a male figure
Yes.
that is around that can help, that voice of a male figure can play a big important role in the education of our children.
Absolutely.
You look at some of the statistics, and you find that when this program that they have, these men got together, decided that they're gonna make it their business to go to school daily, to go out there daily, and you can see that the gang fighting stopped.
Oh,
You see that children got better grades, in school because one, that they were very forceful, they were very great men of being there to help them.
absolutely. So back to your survey and information, it says father gives a little more aggressive advice
Yeah.
than mothers. But the thing about it is, I really believe that men should be present, not just pushing the child, say you handle it, because some people do. Well, you got to learn how to stand up for yourself. That's fine and good. But when we're talking about gangs and when we're talking about extreme bullying and drugs and stuff, you need to be present in the life of your child at school to see exactly what's going on. I tell you what, when that situation happened at Rich Neck, if the parent, you saw dad, mom, everybody
Coming out
running
there.
to
That's
the
right.
school.
That's right.
But see, you open the phone line
The, tele-
again.
the telephone number to dial is 757-624-9475. That's the telephone number. The lines are available. If you want to chime in, is dad's presence, a father's presence in the school, is that a good thing? Or is it a bad thing? Can it change the way school is running if more men, more fathers got involved with their children? I was a great president in my children's school. I
Yes.
was the president of the PTA meetings and of
Marvelous.
PTA school presidents. I dared daily walk to the school, drove to the
Mhm.
school, and I walked around in the school to make sure that that they was doing what is right. And I believe that a male or a female, a father should go ahead and be a part of that child's life. Some of the cats that are retired, that are sitting around the house, don't have anything to do. Go on out to the local school and tell them that you would like to participate. But take your credentials when you go, because we want to make sure that your presence is being heard in there. The telephone number to dial is 624-9475. That's the number to dial.
All right, Miss Mardell Lewis said it's good uh we have stand what fathers for our young men out here. Most of them in prison or jail. We need to go into prison and talk to these fathers to see what they could be done to help them, so when they get out, they can be involved in their young men's uh, lives. Sons need their fathers, daughters need their fathers as well. And thank God that every man is not in jail.
That's
And
right. That's
thank
right.
God that there are men that are working hard. We do understand that there are men that um, are doing some things. They may not be able to come uh, and be present all the time, but some men are making that effort. I know they love sports. They
That's
get
right.
involved,
That's
and
right.
men do that. I see men coming to PTA meetings. My grandson, his father, and I see fathers coming out and showing support to their children. And so there are hard fathers, but I'm saying we need more. We need, because guess what? The school's environment is not getting that much better. And that's the problem right there. We have some fathers doing their job, but they need to have more men involved.
That's
It
right. That's
actually
right.
says give dads a unique voice in schools. Research also suggests that both schools and education researchers should do more to reach out to fathers directly to understand more about how they engage with their children's learning.
Going to the phone line. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
Doing good, and
Wonderful.
you?
Fine. I want to say they have a whole lot of children still out here. A lot of time.
Yes,
And when I came up, we didn't have stuff like that. Didn't have a whole lot of bills and stuff like that. And
absolutely.
the people are scared to come out though.
Wow.
That's
And
right.
that's a shame. The schools, can you imagine, the story of the 6-year-old shooting the teacher? That is so spooky and
That's
scary.
kind of bad.
Is that right? It really is. And so, what can we do? How can we make sure parents are involved, make sure children understand the rules? Because something was wrong in that situation and they're still trying to
Yeah,
figure it out, right?
that's right.
Yes. So, thank you so much for calling.
Okay.
Yeah, people are trying to figure it out. It says a recent study in the Journal of Family Issues found that while many parenting and education studies rely on mothers to report on both their own and fathers' involvement, a comparison of fathers' own reports with those of their children, mothers found that parents often disagreed on fathers' involvement.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Parents ought to be able, I think that what should happen, Miss Hinton, if you're not a father that's living with your family,
That's what it was.
that's where the disagreement comes in, because sometimes they're using kids as a bullet in a gun.
Yeah.
They don't want the father to be a part of the child's life. So now, if he get involved, it's a problem because she still might have feelings for him. The telephone number to dial is 624-9475. But that's his child. And he's got a right to be concerned about what's going on in his child's school's life because he might not know that Billy is running around there acting crazy, or his presence might be made known, because if he can take one and make one right, then others will be copycats and follow behind them because he ain't gonna play with them. But since parenting, when you're co-parents and parents, you might raise him one way and don't listen to your daddy. But all daddy is trying to do is get involved.
Absolutely. We have a caller on the line.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. How are you?
Because I was missing
Yes.
and I started not to. I said, well, let me call it. By me as a single parent, the father of my children wasn't me. So I had to raise my children. So what I did, I used to be on the CTA, maybe till more, and I used to be there at the school with my children, and I used to be a volunteer.
Yeah.
And so some of the children I in the first grade, and what I did, I tried a big bottle of pin. I don't do all the twice, but it's the whole day. You all get a tea at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I heard that one of the third grade class, the children on the house, you could have heard about
Wow.
the hallway. So I did the same thing to them. So I said, you heard this idea, but I will go and get the bird and bring the bird in so they can see how you all act. So when
Yes.
I gave them a treat. But at the end of the day, you all get to see them unite. And when I did that, everything was good.
See, that's marvelous. Thank you so much. Somebody gets involved.
That's
But
right.
getting back to your point, Mr. E, it says parents who were not married, did not live together, or were not both biologically related to the child were more likely to disagree.
That's right.
And it's saying that you should find ways of getting men and fathers involved. And it's been done largely, like I said
That's
earlier,
right.
through sports. Schools have not often found ways to get men who were very devoted, very invested, very involved on the sports side of the equation to take an equally an active role of the academic side. Okay, we got those sports on, Vinny's there.
That's
But
right.
honey, when it comes to academic and when it comes to rules and regulations, conduct, support, then we need you.
You know, and that's a true statement, regardless if you and the wife can't, you and the girlfriend can't get along. Somewhere down the line, y'all got to drop them papers because you are raising kids, you are raising presidents, you are raising kings, you are raising men, child, you are raising teachers and astronauts. So somewhere down the line, if you and your man can't get along, drop the papers and allow him to be involved because believe it or not, he can have his father's spirit, and his father can identify and how to deal with the spirit that he has.
The sad part about it, Mr. E, is some children don't know who their fathers are.
That's right.
There's not a man figure around. But you know, I hope that grandparents,
That's
you know,
right.
they play a big role
That's
in
right.
this generation. Grandpa, go to the school.
That's right.
Uncles, go to the school. Call the teacher. Do something or show support in some way or another. It says in this survey that men are really key
That's right.
in making sure children have the stability and support in schools. It's very favorable when men are involved.
757-624-9475. That's the telephone number that you can call. We can take about two more callers. 757-624-9475. But here in the study says, but he added schools have started to become more international about reaching out to fathers in the school where they put on muffins with moms events now. I see more donuts with dad days where they invited their conversation between the school officials and the fathers about the importance of their role in the children's development. Listen, if you want to make a strong young man, let both parents. It's both of y'all. The baby didn't come here by himself. He didn't make. He wasn't made by himself. It took two to make those babies come to make that child, and it takes two to raise them. You know, I mean, we done got to the point now that our men are standing on the corners, and the reason why they walking around looking like they done lost their best cow is because one, we're not allowing them to be fathers. We're allowing them to just don't get involved, don't say nothing, just pay your child support and get out of my life. I can't stand you no more. So now he's gone on about his way and feeling some kind of way because guess what? He wants to be involved in his children's life. You know, so give us a call, 757-624-9475. We can take one more caller, 757-624-9475.
So we're hoping that men will take the initiative to start going to school. Education is important, and being in the lives of your child has a lot to do with the environment of the school. The schools, I'm telling you, when we heard about Rich Neck, Mr. E, it was like, what in the heck is going on? We don't want an unstable environment. We have a caller on the line. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing good, thank you.
Good. I'm calling. I'm a grandparent, and I raised a grandson, and now he has to go on to become a chef. He was
Wow.
not one of those that wanted to go to school. He always didn't excel and stuff. So we, as parents, we as grandparents, we have to be consistent
Yes.
with our children. So I took off my job and I sat outside his classroom every day to make sure that he got what he needed. I had to sit there to make sure that the teachers and the principals and stuff was giving him what he needed because I had to let him know that this is what I want for you. I want the best for you. So now he is 29 years old.
Wow.
I don't know. He's a chef and he never went to college, but he taught himself how to cook. So
Yes.
it's a consistency as we as parents that we have to show our children, not tell them, but show them how it's supposed to be done. Be there
Absolutely.
for them when they are hurting. Don't always just say, well, the teacher told me this. No, I need to talk to you and the teacher so the teacher knows her role and you know your role, and we're going to come together. We're going to do it together. Teach the parents, bring the child.
Absolutely.
Don't just let the teacher do it by herself. It's got to be there.
Absolutely. Our hats are off to grandparents.
Yeah,
I mean, they
yeah.
come through. Thank you so much for what you do. And thank you so much for calling. Mr. Eve, if it wasn't for some of these grandparents, grandma, granddad, honey, some of these children, I don't know where they would be. But thank God for parents anyway. Thank God for those that are showing up and doing their job. I tell you what, this has been a wonderful, wonderful, blessed day. Thank you so much for you all being involved in the show, calling in and commenting. We want you to come over here a little bit. We're going to talk to you here on social media, but we're going to see you on Fun Friday. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
For the past 30 minutes, you've been listening to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda, Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Abbott, the co-host. Our special topic today, issues concerning men. Dad, men, education, men need to be around to help educate our young men. Don't forget to join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9:30 to 10 right here on WPCE 1400 Peace 985.3 WGPL 1350. Don't forget to have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Oh wow, what a topic! So, Mr. E, I wanna mention something that you brought up. And that is the fact of relationship between mom and mother and the father.
Yeah,
How it can actually bring problems to our children because can't get along.
that's right.
The relationship is bad. Even if a person is married, husband and wife, sometimes I heard somebody just say the other day that because they can't get along, it reflected on the children.
That's right. That's right.
And so this is what I'm saying. We've got to start thinking about the children and what's best for them. We're so busy fighting. We're
That's
so
right.
busy, not getting along. And so when it comes to the needs of children and their education, parents are MIA, missing in action. They're not going and getting things done. They don't know what the grades are. Sometimes I talk to young people and they are sitting, I ask them about their grades. Well, my grades are E and E. Okay, all right, bring those grades up. All right, next semester. What's your grade? E. Wait a minute. How old are you? 10. Well, where's you taking all these E's? Somebody needs to be to intervene and say, wait a minute now, you made one E. That should be enough. Let's come on and get this thing moving. And so, parents, dads, please start getting involved in education of these children.
Miss Hinton, in this survey I looked up, it says children following in their parents, in their father's career and footsteps.
Mm-hmm.
The U.S. Census Bureau studies show that fathers, children, and international transmissions of the employees find that the children whose fathers lived with them for at least a part of their teenage years, 28% of the sons, 17% of the daughters will some point work for their father's employer.
Yes, absolutely.
And the vast majority of these children are employed at the same time as their dads, and they are more likely to work with their fathers when they are under the age of 18, suggesting that dad helped them to get a leg up and at work. Moreover, children who worked with their father, started work at a young age, stayed on the job longer, and has high earnings than their peers who did not work with their fathers. The results of suggesting high school might be benefit from emerging parents in identifying a potential employee for the high school career internship. So, Mr. What is happening? We got to look at this thing in another way. If they get involved, children follow their father, and that's a known statement. They'll follow their father's footsteps. Some dad has been out there on these jobs for such a long time. Now the child needs a job. What dad does, he goes to bat for the child, for the son and to say, look,
Yes.
let my son
Yes.
come down here and work. He need a job real bad. And so when the son come down, that's and he
That's
started
right.
working down there. And when he started working, and sometimes he work alongside dad.
Absolutely.
And then dad's friends are looking for him that helps encourage him that he can make it.
Absolutely.
And just like these dads, they got to put and moms, they got to put down that ignorant stuff of fighting one another in front of the children. Mental illness is a true fact. It's a known fact. And if we keep right on battling and arguing and fussing in front of our children, they're going to become chemically imbalanced. We wonder why Johnny is committing so much crime. We wonder why he's not listening, why he's not paying attention, because he's sick and tired of hearing mom and daddy call each other out of their contents. It's not so much of you concerned about the child, you concerned about each other. Now, where is the child involved in all of this? I tell you where the child is feeling hurt, feeling sad, because the first thing he said, the reason why my mom and dad is not getting along is because of me. And because they feel that way, it caused them to have mental illness, caused them to slow down, cause them not to be able to get involved, cause them to be angry, cause them to be sad all the time.
Suicidal.
And suicidal and cause them to make trouble.
Absolutely. We encourage men to get involved. Sometimes kids fall through the cracks when there's not a father figure, when there's not a parent that's involved. A lot of times now, kids are in front of social media, and social media is the parent.
Yeah.
Or the TV is the parent, or the gangs are the parent.
Yeah.
Or, other kids are in their ear, because at a certain time, anyway, kids kind of close their ears to parents anyway.
That's right.
And so they have a greater influencer, which is their peers and other things. And so you got to stay on it as a parent, as a mom, as a father. You got to stay on it, because there's so many things out there that can pull a child in. We was talking at the our anti-bullying program, our rally, and we had Reverend Wilson, who spoke about the streets and how the drugs out there now, it's not a thing of just the gateway drugs. It's the fentanyls. It's the heroin. It's somebody saying, I'm gonna get you. And when they find a child that is to themselves, a teenager that has no purpose, hopeless, or have no support, these are the ones they recruit.
That's right. That's right.
You can be a friend. We'll be your family. But the thing about it, the influence is a negative treacherous influence, and it can cause your child to fall through the cracks, end up in jail, end up on drugs, end up in gangs, end up all kind of things, because you have them wide open to the foul.
And that's right. They're wide open to lot of dotted everybody, and anybody can influence them, because all these children wants to be as loved. Sometimes mothers can't get there, so they said, I got to work, I got to keep a roof over their head because they're single. The dad ain't doing nothing about it. Listen, let's break that mold. Let's get rid of that curse. And regardless if daddy is not paying child support, regardless if daddy is not giving his 2 cents in, he's not in the house with y'all. But guess what? He can have an impact on help raising his child, so that child would not go down the crack.
Yeah, if he come, make sure you come up though, Dad. We are not gonna have you strung out on the street crackhead, and you trying to influence a child. That don't nobody need that. But I'm saying, you have a place.
That's
even
right.
if you're having problems,
that's right.
You have that place, and you should have to be able to communicate with that young lady that you've had a baby by, and you all come to the conclusion, well, hey, we can't get along, work 2 cents. Let's work in behalf of our children. I want to say good morning to Mardell Lewis, Sheila Robbins. We have Tracy Porter. We have Roberta Carter, Miss Yolanda Tillett. Miss, do you have anybody else?
Sheila Robbins.
I just mentioned her. Yes.
All
anybody
right.
else different?
Miss Yolanda Tillett. We got Chris Hinton. We got want to say good morning to him. We got Mr. Chris Hinton and
Yes.
that are with us, and we just want to say good morning to everybody that's tuning in to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. Miss Hinton, when we started dealing with this topic, where you got two parents, whether they be a husband or wife, boyfriend or girlfriend, yeah, they got a child. They got a child. So listen, let's do something totally different. Let's raise the child so that our child can grow up to be someone, and don't wait till that child is 30, 29, 21 years old and then make the pro. He's a pro now. Let me get into my son's life. He's a
Oh,
professional
no.
now. That's what some of them do. Oh, that's my son. Let me get into his life. Come on now. You ought to be somewhere involved in your child's life. I
Absolutely.
want to do this, Miss Hinton, and I want folks to give me a call. The telephone number to dial is 757-714-7861. I want every man that wants to get involved. I want to pull a team together to go out to these different schools, sit down and talk with the principals and get our credentials together so that we can be vocal, we can be seen in our schoolhouse to help our children to rise above.
Yeah, our children, whether you know it or not, are going through a lot of things. You'd be surprised of the environment in the schools, and they need, like I said, security. They need that sense of being able to feel safe. They need to have people, intervene and advocate for them when you got people bullying them and trying to pull them into gangs. We need strong men. We do. And Mr. E, my hats off to you, please. You all follow through. Get in touch with Mr. E. He'll give you that number again in a little bit. But we need, I mean, just even Mr. E, just even if men would go in there just
That's right.
sometimes,
And sit
you know
there.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Read a
If
book.
they would come in, read, do
Yeah.
like the women do, or have some kind of little thing where and you can, have children and their fathers involved. Something cute, something
Walk
nice,
around the
you
schoolyard to
know.
make sure. Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you're a custodian, was a custodian, just walk around the school and sit out there and get permission from the
Yes, gotta have permission.
principal. Get permission from the principal that you want to help support the school by any means necessary. Miss Hinton, I was looking up some other information, and I came across this. It says, "What are the roles of a father?" What are the 10 roles of a father? One of the roles says, what is the importance of a father? One, he's a protector.
Yes.
He's a role model.
Yeah.
He's a good husband or a co-parent. He's a disciplinary action. He's a teacher. He's an advisor. He's a provider. He's a guide. He's a playmate. Playmate. He's a cheerleader. These are some of the things that a father
Yes.
may be.
Absolutely.
When you look at a daddy cheers his children on
Yes.
and not putting them down, because that's his seed, that's his son, that's his daughter, and he wants the best for his children.
Absolutely. I want to say good morning to Barbara Lowring. Is
That's my
on with
cousin.
us.
Yeah.
Yes. And just so many of you all have taken the time to, check in with us. You all are a great support. We want you all to continue to listen and give suggestions and, join into our discussions. On Monday night, we're on at 6 p.m. We would love to pull you all into our platform to discuss topics like this, or to discuss topics about women, or discuss topics about gun violence, or travel and health and wellness. There's so many things to discuss, and we need to hear from you all. We need your involvement and your perspective on some of the issues that are going on in our community, Mr.
That's
E.
right, Miss Hunter. We need you to get involved. I want to say good morning to Miss Forrest Green. Thank you so much for tuning in to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world.
Absolutely. So look, we are going to give you all a little upcoming information, which is March the 1st. It
That's
is
right.
March the 1st, days away, Mr. E, from springtime. I can feel it, Lord, have mercy. I know you all can see the beautiful flowers, the daisies coming up, and the uh, all the other trees popping. It's just absolutely beautiful. And we know, how are you, young lady? Good to see you up here. But yes, we have March. This month is National Women's Month. We're going to be highlighting a lot of ladies, a lot of women. This month, we want you to tune in, and we are also wanting to schedule young ladies and women on both our platforms, FYI Morning Show and FYI After Dark. You all can get in touch with Mr. E. He's going to give you that information. We want to start scheduling you all for this month. And also in April, we need to make sure we're scheduling in April certain topics and quote that are really involved with some things that that's going on. So please, 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 if you'd like to be a part of this show, Ms. E will give you that information on how you can be a special guest sponsor on Intern with FYI Radio Show.
If you'd like to be a special guest sponsor or intern on FYI, all you have to do is give us a call at 757-714-7861, or you can inbox us at Edward Evers' Facebook page, Miss Yolanda the Lady Hinton Facebook page, or FYI Facebook page, or email us at FYI Radio Show live at gmail.com.
And don't forget, please subscribe to our channels and follow us, please, on YouTube. If you all would go to the Cristo Records 1, Cristo Records with an S, 1, and subscribe. We need those numbers. We need folk to just click and share and tell people that we're on YouTube, we're on LinkedIn, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook Live, we're on 95.3 FM, we're on GPL 1350, PCE, soon to be WMBA 88.9. Please, and Instagram as well. We need to get you all to follow and subscribe so we can get the numbers. We want to reach so many people, and we have the platforms to do it. So don't forget that. Don't forget, Young Women Achieving Success is tonight in Chesapeake. I tell you, we're growing, and we're happy about it. You can call 757-287-6792 or inbox me and say, I got a young lady, 10 to 17 years old, and would love to have my daughter or my niece or my neighbor in the program.
That sounds wonderful. Don't forget, you can be a part of FYI audience or part of FYI After Dark by giving us a call at 757-714-7861.
Thank you for all you all that called and participated, all you all that are viewing. Don't forget the book, Bullying is Right Underneath Your Nose, hard copy. It's also ebook, and it is also Audible book. The Royal Ladies Choir getting ready to launch with some great things are happening for the Royal Lady. So I tell you what, contact us. Mr. E's going to give you that information. And I want to just say thank you and God bless you for your support.
If you'd like to be a special guest or sponsor of the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world, give us a call at 757-714-7861 or inbox us at Edward Evers' Facebook page, Miss Yolanda the Lady Hinton's Facebook page, FYI Facebook page, or you can go to our email at FYIRadiosHowLive@gmail.com and give us a call, 757-7861. Thank you so much for tuning in to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world.
Be blessed. We'll see you back here on Fun Friday. Bye-bye now.
2 up, 2 down, VA.